My name is Dan Rasmussen. I'm the choir teacher at Liberty Middle School, along with Philip Hoover, the choir director here at Discovery Middle School. We are so thankful and honored to be here performing patriotic music for Liberty Public Schools Veterans Day Breakfast. And so, I'm kind of a long-winded person, so I'm just going to say that out front and then say, I'll stop talking and let's let the music speak for itself. We're going to feature several selections today, starting with the men from Liberty Middle School. This is their song entitled Band of Brothers.
Amen. ever knowing their name. Therefore, to all those unsung heroes, this poem is just for you. For all the lives you save each and every day.
Good morning and welcome to Liberty Public Schools. Sing a song of liberty, right? Part of that poem was about those that are willing to step in and serve, right? And lean in and move forward and serve humanity. What an amazing expression, whether it's through poetry or whether it's through songs. I know oftentimes images from battles over the years are captured in artwork. But what I was thinking about over the last couple of days and again this morning as we were preparing for our breakfast this morning, what would it look like if we were to capture, whether it's through song, whether it's through artwork, whether it's through poetry, whether it's through your individual stories, of how many individuals and lives you've impacted over the years. And for that, we are incredibly grateful. As a former history teacher, I was reflecting on songs, knowing that we would have our young people here performing. And it's not just the lessons that they learn in a textbook, but it's the lessons that they learn from their choir teachers, from their accompanists, and from lyrics that tell the story about your service over the years. Think about it. Going back to the American Revolution and the origin of the song Yankee Doodle Dandy, the War of 1812, and what happened at Fort McHenry as Francis Scott Key penned the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. Fast forward into, I believe it was 1862 and around the Civil War, where an old revival camp meeting song was then transformed into the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And then fast forward, one of my very favorites in 1942, written by, I believe it was Irving Berlin, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. We could go on and on and on as far as the songs that tell the story. We could pull poetry forward. We could pull artwork forward. But probably the very best thing that we can do is sit around the table together. And I've thought about that as well. Whether it's our younger generation, our older generation, black, white, rich, poor, we've seemingly moved away from the table where we make connections, where we have conversations, where we learn one another's stories. And so thank you so much for coming out this morning. We honor you. We welcome you. We are incredibly humbled to be in your presence and have this opportunity to share with you. I do have a quick story that I also wanted to share. I got to do something pretty incredible this summer that scared the living daylights out of me. I got to fly with the Blue Angels. And that was pretty phenomenal, right? And as soon as I got to the airport, we did it at the downtown airport, I started being curious about people's stories. I started asking the young men that I was working with who have no fat on their body, who work out all the time, who are incredibly fit, who can fly at Mach 9 and various things like that, and handle all sorts of G-forces and everything. I started asking them how they got to where they're at. What's your story? And a lot of them said, well, I got interested in high school. Because I had a family member, I got interested in the armed service or the Navy or the Marines or whatever the case be. But they were inspired to get to that point in their life to working with the Blue Angels. When we got in there, they told me, here's what you're going to expect. Here's the strain that's going to happen on your body. We're going to hit close to the speed of sound, but we can't actually break that barrier because we're over land. They told me, in the event that we have to actually eject, here's what you need to do. That made my wife a little nervous. But all along, I'm sitting here hearing these gentlemen's stories as to how they got to where they're at. And I thought, well, we've got another group, you all in this room, that we want to hear your stories. Whether it's myself or our young people here, several of them may end up in the armed services someday. Some of them may have family members that have similar stories to yours. So before we leave this morning, again, we celebrate you, we honor you, but we want to take time to hear from you as well. So before you depart, please connect with our young people, our faculty, staff that are here this morning, because we want to honor you and thank you for your service to our country. Hopefully this is a week of celebration, but it's also a week of remembrance. Because as one of the songs shared, each year we lose more and more veterans that have served. And we want to make sure and pay tribute to their stories. Thank you all very much for being here this morning. Thank you to these phenomenal kids for taking the time. Thank you, Dr.
If you would like to rise for the singing of the national anthem, let's Our final song is a tribute to the armed services. When your branch of the military is being recognized, please stand and accept the applause.
Army